Electric motor.
Synthetic rigging.
Classic sailboat.
No electronics.
Crossing the Atlantic Ocean.
Going where the fair winds blow, our home is where the waters flow. We'll show you what we've come to know on board while sailing wisdom.
It feels really good to be outside again. The rain has stopped, the waves have gotten considerably smaller, so we're not getting splashed in the cockpit or anything. I was inside for so long and just reading my book for so long that my eyes and my head started really hurting, just because when you're in the boat, like, you're just not focusing on anything that's far away at all. So I'm giving my eyes a respite today. I'm looking out into the distance as much as I can, and I am not gonna read all day.
Nerd goal.
Yep. I did finish my book though, and it was really good.
The book you started a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The waves are still gray though. Sun isn't really coming out, which is kind of nice because it's cooled down substantially, and I don't have to worry about covering up my arms and legs because I'm not going to get sunburned out here today, which is a really good feeling. Just relax and enjoy myself a bit.
So while today's really just overcast and the winds are a lot lighter, we're keeping our storm sails up because those towering clouds right over here, they are just really big, and they're coming our way. So we're gonna be keeping an eye on them because if they come over here, they're probably gonna bring a lot of wind with them. And it's also a lot cooler, so we're not sweating so much because it's been really hot for like weeks. So this cool air is so welcome.
So on long journeys like this, when you don't really have much stimulation, it can be really good to bring along games and puzzles and stuff to kind of just jerk your brain back into momentum. So we just finished playing Tapple, which is a nice game for two, and it just gets your brain thinking and just kind of stimulated. We have a collection of games like this that are like small, compact, really great for the boat, and don't take any like setting up or anything like that, which is good, just word games. I also have a book of Sudokus. I have cat stacks, which is really hard to do in pitching seas, but just good puzzle games to keep your mind active, because like it can really get rough out here when you're just staring out into the distance for hours on end.
We're getting pretty close to Suriname, and by pretty close, like 800 miles away. So
that to us is pretty close.
yeah, we're pretty close. The big excitement we're gonna have today is we're going to Gybe.
It's happening! We are going to Gybe. This is an exciting moment for us because we haven't done anything to the helm or the sails in over a week. it's been that long. But today, we are under 900 miles to our destination, which actually sounds really far, but to us, it's pretty close considering. And we've reached the point where it's no longer good for us to go north at all. And right now, we're headed northwest. So we need to jibe so that we can head southwest, so that we arrive to Suriname a little bit south of the river, so that the Guinea current can carry us right on up there. Point of sail is so much nicer. We're actually at an angle with the waves instead of against them, which is a change. And there's this like really cold wind, which I am welcoming. It's still quite rocky. It's always rocky. And we are just surrounded by thunderheads all around us, but right where we are is good. I'm just constantly thankful and grateful that we are in a boat like Wisdom, because I honestly cannot imagine this passage in any other boat. A lighter displacement boat would just be so uncomfortable, and Wisdom's comfort ratios are so good that I'm as rocky as it has been this whole time. I'm still really grateful because I know it could be so much worse. Just for some perspective, a comparison, Wisdom, the Morgan's comfort ratio is a 52, and the Amel, which is a very highly rated boat and very comfortable, is a 35, I think, in the 30s. So there's a huge difference. And after our adventures on that Amel, a lot of people expected us to prefer it over Wisdom. And I gotta say, nope. We still love our old girl.
Okay, so now we are much closer to Suriname. We're about 800 miles away. So where I think we are and what course I plot becomes very important, because it's no longer just head west. You have a whole ocean to go until you hit land. It's now, we have to plot a course with a specific heading. So I plotted our position, and latitude I was fine, but longitude I was 180 miles too far west. So Maddie took the liberty of informing me that we are not at 44 degrees west, we're at 41. So I'm going to be taking a look at the charts, figuring out what our heading's going to be, because we need to deal with some currents and then some winds there and all that stuff. So we're going to come in a way that's downwind and down current for that.
difficult to recalibrate your body and mind when you jibe after days and days of being on the same tack. All of a sudden, all my weight when I'm inside has to be kind of leaning this way, and whereas before it was that way. So my muscle memory is off. So it's a little bit of a challenge. This is the better tack for cooking though, luckily. I'm making spaghetti and meat sauce with ground beef that we got in Madeira, yeah. So before we left, we got as much meat as we could because that's the thing that we can really keep for the longest. So we vacuum packed it all and put it in our freezer, and this way we get fresh-ish meat for the entire crossing, which has been a blessing because otherwise we'd just be eating canned food.
But there's nothing wrong with Spam.
I will never knock Spam.
How you doing?
I'm ready to eat.
All right.
In fact, I am eating currently.
So we jibed, and now the whole world is sideways for us because we've been used to the other way. But a lot of wind, so now we're going like 7-8 knots. Like the low numbers will be in the 6s. It's quite fast. So
that's our life right now.
Yep, that's our life. Time for dinner. One huge thing for us that is just like so important about boat design is the transom. So on our boat, it's that long overhang that boats used to have, and now it's moved in a way towards what they call a sugar scoop, which is this big, open, wide, flat transom in the back that looks like a sugar scoop. And the problem is that when you have a big wave that comes at you from the back, it either comes in the sugar scoop and then floods into the boat, or if it's the cruiser version of a sugar scoop to look like it has a sugar scoop, there's like this big, broad, flat transom back there. The problem is, when a wave comes and smashes into that, it pushes the boat really hard, and that's not pleasant. Now, in our case, with that long overhang, the wave simply comes and breaks under the overhang. So the stern just rides up, the breaking water goes under it, passes on by, nothing happens, no hoopla, no big deal. It's like so important, and I see so many boats with these like massive transoms. The second thing is, like, if a wave is big enough to actually hit the transom is actually really small, so it's a really small wall to get hit. So if you think about it, like, what do you want the wave to hit? A really, really big, wide, massive transom that you can just, you know, hit and push and like send flying, or one that's really small, that's not really much surface area, and the wave can't really impart much energy from the wave to the boat.
All right, this day has ended, and it's time to say goodnight. We're gonna be needing to motor against a current into this river.
And we have a broken hatch and dead batteries.
So I'm excited. We're actually gonna do a sail change here. Thanks for watching this episode of Sailing Wisdom. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next Rigging Doctor episode. And if you're interested in even more Rigging Doctor awesomeness, consider becoming a patron to see all of our extras. Can't wait to see you next time as you join us out here on the high seas. Are you going?
Oh yeah.
Oh. It's happening!